Hey, good evening. This is Nicolina Nix, again here with Women, Wit, and Wine. And it's still too high.
Okay, we're trying this. We're
just testing this out right now. Hold on.
I need some wine too.
Oh, you didn't pour your wine? I'm sorry.
Hey, do you have the things that we were doing, the rating sheets?
No, I didn't print them. I'll probably do that tomorrow.
Okay. Finish your intro.
Because we're live on air. This is Nicolina Nix, and you're listening to Women, Wit, and Wine. And today we're kind of retesting on Facebook Live about doing this show live, obviously.
Live on...
We're not dead.
Trigger and live on the video.
On Facebook Live. Hello, everybody. So today's topic is called What's Your Five? The power, and when I created it, it's the power of positivity and gratitude. I probably said that. No, the power of gratitude and positivity. Blah 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 blah. So this is it's because it's kind of an impromptu show. I didn't have a guest today, but Tobi came to be a guest today. Now
again,
we're going to talk
2 weeks in a row.
We're gonna but we're going to talk. Yeah, last week was just kind of a fly by night kind of week. But this, we discussed this because she's got this amazing. She's got a page, and she's in the process of creating a book called "What's Your Five?" And for me, I definitely like it because I think we take so much for granted.
Yeah, we do.
And we always think about what we don't have and our lack of. And this is something that, from my perspective, definitely teaches us to reminds us. It's not so much teaching us, but it definitely reminds us that there's just 5 things that we can think about to be grateful for, just for today and when we live in the now. So, Tobi, tell me a little bit about what prompted you to create it.
Well, what prompted me to create it was the fact that, okay, I study law of attraction. Mm-hmm. Anybody that's been around me for 5 seconds knows that I tend to lean in towards the positive. And throughout all of my studies, I found that a lot of stuff was really complicated.
Yeah. And,
they say do gratitude lists, do your meditation, sit down and think of the thing that you want and the dream that you want. And really what prompted it was to find a simpler way to raise your vibration every day. Mm-hmm. And I actually have to shout out to Renee, because he was essentially my first student. And while I was kind of prompting him to do this, he was watching things transform in my life and wondering how he could achieve that as well. And he was coming from a place of kind of knowing about law of attraction, but not really knowing about law of attraction. And we started to just do this 5 thing. I said, well, if you can do anything, just this one thing every day, find 5 things that are good in your life right now. That's where what it was born from. He and I would talk, and I would say my 5, and he would do his. Mm-hmm. And then he started to feel that his life was transforming. And maybe he wasn't manifesting anything and everything he wanted, but he did manage to manifest a new job, and he manifested a new home. We manifested our relationship. So that's essentially where it comes from. It's the idea that every day, very easily and simply, you can come up with 5 things that are good. They need to be good for you right now. In the now, right here. Yeah. Because I know when I studied thankfulness and gratitude to begin with, I was always thinking of things that I felt I had to be thankful for. Mm-hmm. Like my family or my, just goofy stuff that are these big grandiose things that maybe in that moment I'm not thankful for. Like, I love my family. I love you, family. Mom and Dad, if you ever hear this, I do love you, but sometimes it's not so good. You're not on my list because something's happened.
Right.
And, but when I get back to that place of the now, some mornings I'm grateful that I am sitting in my office with a cup of coffee and the sun is shining on my face. Mm-hmm. That goes on my 5 at that moment. 10 minutes later, my 5 might be 5 different things. Sorry, I'm I'm going to try to share the live feed, so I swear I'm not being rude here.
No, I'm actually sitting here watching this on Facebook.
Are you watching?
And then I think, oh my God, my posture looks terrible.
Oh, me too.
Oh my God, I have a clown on my shirt, and I look
huge.
I'm wondering, I'm in the episode of Chandler on Friends. It says, and how many cameras were on you?
Yeah, no, I get it.
Okay, so I'm adjusting my shirt. So this is actually even on a delay. So, one of the things is, I do. I mean, I'm somebody that I've been doing laws of attraction for ages. And I have my little boxes that I'm in the process of creating that it takes 21 to 30 days to recondition ourselves for something. If you do something every day for 21 days, it's a habit. If you do something for 21 days every day, it becomes natural. It becomes flow for you. And so that to me is definitely something that I kind of have practiced for a long time, and but I have my setbacks of where my life hasn't gone the way I wanted it to, and so there becomes this blame. And like I said, I told you, one of the things that and I listen to so much positivity talks
that you can almost get overboard. It can almost seem
you
too
can.
much.
You know what? I'm obsessive compulsive, so for me, I saturate myself until I'm so overwhelmed.
I do the same.
It's
thing.
we can't do this anymore. I got to take a step back. I got to walk away.
Yeah.
I've
done that.
And so and that's the bad thing for me. So because I'm trying to retrain myself to where I don't feel like I'm being saturated and overwhelmed. Because then I just put it down and I don't go back.
Yeah.
And so now I'm trying to pace myself with doing this, and definitely, for me, it's with the life coach training right now, this is something that I would refer people to. You need to join this page. Why? Because it's every day. This will teach you. Even if you don't write every day, if you read every day.
It's a reminder. It's also kind of like the collective energy of the page. Mm-hmm. The people that are in it, the people that are on it. And my advice to anybody that joins is you post when you want. It's not you have to, you must do this. You don't have to post ever if you don't want. Maybe just being on the page and seeing other people's posts will prompt you to write in your journal your 5.
Right.
Or have a friend that you do your 5 with. But the fact that you've taken the step, and it takes all of 2 minutes most of the time to write your 5. Mm-hmm. That's the beautiful thing I like about it. The reason why I have been able to stick with it for so long, and why I have written the book that is yet to be released, as well as the other thing that I'm working on, which is a program.
Right.
It's a ways in the future that it's easy. It's not 50 worksheets. I've taken I've taken courses that are placing your hand on your heart and lighting candles and doing worksheets and writing your big dream out 55 times every day for 100 days. I don't know about y'all, but I am a lazy bitch. I do not. And not only that, but I don't want just one thing.
Right.
Okay, I have a laundry frickin' list. Okay, it's laundry list.
Yeah, I think that's one of our problems is that we tend to the whole list. We focus on the whole list instead of one thing at a time,
or the top three things.
Right.
Anyway, the thing about What's Your 5 is that it's such a simple thing that can actually transform your life, make you feel better, make you feel a little happier. At the same time that you're doing it every day, this 2 to 5 minutes or whatever, you're going to find that things that you want and better things are going to come across your path. Without having to try to push and yell and scream at the goddess universe. Give me what I want now, like an angry baby.
Because when we desperately desire something and if we approach it with desperation, it never comes.
Mm-hmm.
It creates anxiety. If we approach it with the confidence that the universe will provide it at the right time,
that it's already on its way.
Yes, like that's what I meant. Is like that if we approach it that it's already on its way, and the universe will put it in our lives
when we're ready.
We're ready for it. You know, that's always an important thing. Part of it for me. It's just like I know that good things are coming, but we're not Veruca on Willy Wonka. I want it now.
Oh God, I love that song. I used to sing that song. I used to get in trouble.
I want it now.
We would be somewhere in a store I did this when I was 12, 13 years old. Life was a musical for me. I used to make my mom completely laugh her ass off because that was one of my songs. Whenever I would see donuts or fruitcake at Christmas, I would break into that song. I want to feast. I want to bean feast.
Right? It's just
peanuts and donuts and things that had no nuts. So that you could go nuts. Give it. I would sing the whole song at full bore in the middle of like Kmart or the grocery store, and my mom would just go, "All right, Veruca," and she'd clap, and then I'd stop and I'd bow.
That's hilarious.
That was like my tune, and I can still be kind of that way. But now, I don't know. I'm at a place right now where it feels like the more I've let go of the outcome, and this is that like instead of saying I want it now, I want it, and focusing on the goal, which is the money, the successful business, the riches beyond my imagination, and the focus right now is just really on the community.
Right.
That's really the only thing I really care about. I really care about this community and growing it, and because it has such a chance, it has the power to transform people's lives without having to do a lot of effort. Of course, there is definitely more to manifesting and having everything you've ever wanted, and really those experiences, the lifestyle, all of it. But if you're just starting out, or maybe you've been doing law of attraction for a while, practicing it, this just adds to it.
Right.
And this is easy, I mean, I'm not going to go, I jokingly have branded myself the less woo-woo guru, because
The what?
less woo-woo guru.
Less woo-woo guru.
I know, it's kind of rhymey. In that, I'm not one of these running around in my hippie clothes and yes, I do have an altar at my house. I do have some very woo-woo things in my toolbox, but I don't run around looking like a woo-woo,
What does a woo-woo look like? That I probably should have put something nice on instead of
this is less woo-woo girl. No makeup, t-shirt, my Birkenstock,
my Pennywise clown shirt.
Yes, this is I don't have that when I look at some of the teachers in this niche, they're like, oh, I am just so peaceful. My life is so peaceful. They talk like this, and it's like, do you ever have a bad fucking hair day? Do you even?
I mean,
maybe I'm just weird in that I look at some of them and they seem just like out in the clouds. And then I've done their programs. Why are you laughing?
Because this live thing is on a delay, and so I'm watching you do your little shirt thing, and your arms are flailing everywhere.
I'm not even wearing my good bra today.
I mean,
this is my house bra.
It's like on a delay, and so it's kind of cute.
I went out in public in not my house bra, which is so inappropriate. But anyway, I didn't
mean to interrupt you. I'm sorry. I was just giggling.
The less woo-woo guru is just like, I'm really down to earth. I want to share results with people. A project or a plan that can get you results. Where we don't have to dive into every intricacy of law of attraction. There are 100,000 books about that. Okay?
Sure.
How it works, what makes it work, what it is.
But if you read it, it's all the same
thing.
It's okay. There was this concept, and I had this friend that said, when we talk about religion, we have to imagine that I am the universe. I am God.
Mm-hmm.
And I am going to take you and one other person and tell you my story to make sure my story goes on. I want you to spread my message.
You get two different stories.
And I'm telling you the same exact thing, but what you hear, we know that the other person doesn't hear, and we don't even think about that.
Yeah.
It's a matter of how we hear it and how we learn it.
Yeah, and then eventually how we teach it to others.
So how you spin your teaching methods is not necessarily other person's teaching methods.
Yeah.
So you're a person that, you're kind of, you're not like, do it. You need to post, because there's a lot. Here's the thing. I always join these 21-day challenge things, knowing that I'm going to fail
3 days in. I do too. You're not alone. So, ask me about the list building one that I did. I've done it 3 times now, and I barely gotten past the second day.
Right. So so I get through. I can't even do 5 days. Oh my God. Or 7 days. I can't even do 7 days because something will happen and then I don't get it done.
Or do you just you have it on your calendar and it reminds you, and you have the I'm not really feeling it.
I'm having an off day.
I don't really want to do it. Like, I've done that on so many things where, I've taken courses that, I didn't, you know the story, we won't say the name, but I've taken a course that was 7 weeks long.
Yeah.
And I got about 3 to 4 weeks in the course, and then I started to feel like this course wasn't for me. But I thought, you know what, I'm going to be paying on this course the next year. Okay, this was crazy time. 7-week course, it's like, I think it was worse than college. And I just wasn't in a place where I was doing any creative writing or whatever. And months later, because I thought that the person was going to be there to, be supportive, I got kind of in trouble with this person because I didn't finish it on her time frame. It was like, well, I didn't because I didn't, that's me. Like, I like to do things at my own pace and on my own time, and fuck anybody else. Like, I don't,
right. So
I struggle with that. Like those 21-day challenges, or the worst ones are, which ones are the worst ones for me? When they have a webinar with no replay, which means you have to tune in.
You have to be there right at that moment. And
if you're not, you might have to wait 3 days for the replay.
Yes.
Maybe. And then they only leave it up for 24 hours.
Right.
And then I start being like, well, you're just intruding on my time. I was like, I don't want to tune in. I guess I'm a jerk.
I don't think you're a jerk. I think that I'm that way too. It's like, crap, I'm not on there in time because life gets in the way, and really it makes me it makes you think about this, and when I pulled up to your house, of course, I'm listening to Anthony Robbins, and it's called net time. He calls it net time, no extra time required. Because if we tend to learn to do things like listening to books on tape rather than having to read a book, because people go, I just don't have time to read a book. I don't have time to go to a gym.
Oh, yeah.
However, in all of this stuff, we can say, if let's take some things that we can utilize while you're going to the gym. Okay, you need to listen to a seminar or a seminar. Make sure that you can do that while you're at the gym, if you're at the gym.
Yeah.
And that way you're multitasking, and you're still, it's that no extra time required kind of concept. And, I make jokes about me being a lazy reader, that if it's not on Audible, I don't hear it. But the reality is my learning
is auditory.
See,
I'm a reader.
I can read something. I can learn how to do something. All I got to do is watch a video to figure out how to put a light in my car.
Yeah.
How to change, my water pump out. How to do. All I got to do is watch it. I don't have to hear what they're saying. I just got to watch it.
Yeah.
And and for me, even when I'm driving in a car, is a big thing for me to. That's how I learn things, and I don't. I can't say I listen to a book and I learn everything they're teaching me in the book, but I learn what will apply to me that I can teach other people in my manner, and so I think our learning perspective is different. I mean, you created What's Your Five some time ago.
January. And then I kind of sat on it.
Was it January? January this year? Oh,
I started writing.
I thought it was last year. So because I only joined it recently. So
I started the book last fall, and then at the beginning of this year, I had the opportunity to travel with Renee. Mm-hmm. Hi, Renee. Love you. He might be watching.
Well, right now we have Chris Burnett here and Dickie Bill Wagner.
Who was that? Are they your friends?
Yeah, they're my friends.
Hi, friends.
Hi, friends.
How you doing?
It tells me when somebody comes on, so I can see.
Oh, you can see. Do they have questions?
Who comes on? You got any questions about What's Your Five, guys? You know, I mean, because I think that, you know, it's definitely so. You know, for example, let's do this as an example. Tobi? What's your five
right now?
Today, right now.
Water, wine. There's two. Because it's a now thing. This is like right now.
So learning to live in the now. Learning to live in the now.
We talked about this bloody thing a year ago, putting a camera in the studio. Remember, it was like, both of us, I don't know how to do that. I think I have to have a camera. Remember?
I told you I wanted a Mevo because it moves. It'll move to where whoever's talking.
I know, but we were so stressed out about getting the sound and the thing, and then we just kind of dropped it. And since I went on the road with Renee, I was doing live videos from inside of a cab of a semi-truck. And, you know, then today when we were having breakfast, I said, why don't we try it? Mm-hmm. So this is us experimenting.
So
we had to move up. I don't know if you can see it. There's a big thing up there.
Yeah, well, I had to move my picture of Content Massacre.
We were having some lighting flares and glares. And but this is with the camera on a phone.
On an old iPhone.
And here we are.
My real iPhone's right here.
Yeah, my phone's right here. We were going to use this as a backup.
So, you know, but here's the thing. I'm going to just Tobi's nickname for. I have a nickname for Tobi. She doesn't know what it is. It's called Pitchfork. You know why? Because she sticks the pitchfork in my ass to get me to do something.
I thought it was the boot in the ass.
I kind of like being poked a little bit. I'd rather be poked than kicked.
Oh. You call me Pitchfork?
No, I just made that up just now.
That's all right. I'd rather be called that than other things I've been called.
Would you rather me call you cattle prod? She cattle prodded me to get me to
taser.
Do this on camera, even though I'm not even camera ready.
Oh, yeah.
I confess, I'm not
neither one of us
camera ready.
But you know what?
So if I'm going to be doing this live, you need to know that I will start being camera ready.
But who cares? Do you think that they're really going to judge you whether or not you have lipstick on or not? Or are you going to judge yourself?
It's that. It looks like there's 10 cameras on me. It adds 5 pounds. For each camera.
I'm just that.
You know.
I've lost some weight, but...
Okay, I'm curvy. You know, we're curvy, and, you know, we both have lost weight. So, but still, I mean, I think, you know, we're our own worst critic. So, but you said you're 5. You gave me all your 5. You just got to 2.
I got to 2.
She got to 2, and I interrupted her.
Okay, so I have wine and water. We're doing this show. Because I never thought I'd be on the show again. There's 3. We figured out the live with the camera. It looks pretty good. I'm going to take this home and I'm going to put it on the editor and I'm going to look at it.
She's going to shave off 20 pounds off of me and I'm going to look awesome.
No, I'm going to come in here with the lighting and do some other stuff with it because I get kind of weird about flares and people's faces looking like...
Yeah.
Like they're coming out of the sun.
I think we look pretty good.
I think we do too. I can see it from here.
I'm looking at it on my laptop and
it's not...
It looks great.
Yeah, I mean, if we don't have any weird things going on, that's really weird to be on the camera and looking at it at the same time.
Yeah.
Usually it's, you know, you stand behind it, hide, and hiding.
I always hide. I'm a behind the camera kind of girl unless I'm dead. And then that's totally different.
So am I. Okay, the fact that we had a really great breakfast.
Yes.
Unplanned.
And
I'm starting my new job tomorrow.
Okay, there's your 5. That's awesome.
What's yours?
My 5.
You can borrow some of mine if you want. If you're really feeling them.
You know, my 5 is that we are coming up on a year in October.
Yep.
So that's pretty exciting that I've been doing this for a year.
Gosh, it was exactly a year ago that we were
Talking about it.
I had just started at the 7th level of hell.
Yeah, and one of my other 5s is that I'm getting some great guests coming up. I'm still looking for people for dates.
I wasn't your guest. I'm just kidding. I used to be a producer.
Tobi will be back here on the 29th, which is our anniversary date, 29th of October. It'll be our anniversary then for Women, Wit, and Wine.
I need to make sure I can get off work from that. I should be able to.
Well, yeah, you have plenty of time. You just say, I just need this day. I mean, if you work, you just need to be done. You just need to be here by 4:30.
No, I think that should be done.
So we can taste the wine and talk about it.
We didn't even talk about the wine.
We didn't talk about the wine. We did get the $3 chuck from Trader Joe's. It is it's Charles Shaw, right?
Charles Shaw Cabernet,
because I'm a red wine drinker.
It's pretty. You know what? And I spilled water on myself. It's one of those wines. It's not too heavy. It's not real oaky. It's not. It's got pepper and berry and a little mushroom.
I like wine. It doesn't tell us what's in it. Like most wines.
It doesn't?
Yeah. So, so there's that. I got the shows coming up. Oh, Glenda just joined us. Hi, Glenda.
Hi, Glenda. We love you.
We love you. Here we are.
I haven't seen her in like forever.
I know. And so, so my guest, wine, of course, wine. I'm stealing from wine. And knowing that we're out. What else is I'm grateful for? Work.
The opportunities.
The opportunity for work. I've applied to some things where I can do a lot of work from home kind of thing. And one of them is going to pan out the way I would like it to. But definitely something to grow on. And of course, I did have a great weekend. I did a show. I got some stage time on Friday night. Yesterday, I got to spend it with my BFF. Glinda, she's listening to us. Hello, Glinda. She says, "Nice shirt, Nick." Aren't you going to say hello? And you did, Glinda. And today, of course, agreed. I'm gonna steal from Tobi about breakfast and Tobi wanting to come and do the show, and because we were talking about her 5 and how it's growing, and I was telling her that I tend to try to add people to it when I see that they're having a hard time that would be open to it.
Yeah.
I mean, somebody that doesn't seem open to it, I definitely wouldn't go, oh, let me add you to this group.
Yeah, and regarding that, like if you, I'm a real chicken when it comes to adding people because I tend to I get offended when people add me to groups and don't invite me. So I've been the last couple of weeks kind of getting over that chicken shit fear. So look for an ad. Some of my friends that are out there, I will possibly tag you in a post on my personal page, or you can just look it up. It's at What's Your 5 on Facebook. So it's like Facebook groups / What's Your 5.
Right.
So that's the little shout out plug. It's grown. It's doubled in It's doubled in like less than a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Which is really, I'm really happy that people have been joining and actually kind of embracing the idea of doing a 5. What's good? What are 5 good things in your life right now? 5 good things about yourself.
So, Glinda, do you have a 5? I mean, you're here listening with us.
Do you want to do your 5 with us? If anybody wants to come on the live and
type your 5 what you're
and we'll read them out.
What you're grateful for right now. So, I mean, I think that would be awesome just to hear, anybody that's listening, what you're grateful for right now. We are like live on video on Facebook, and we are recording live on Spreaker right now. So it's pretty exciting. And I love it. I love the show. I love talking about some great topics, subjects. Again, this 5 really kind of resonates with me because of the fact that, we tend to focus so much on the negativity and what's wrong, what we don't have in our lives.
What's wrong?
The terrible things. Why is this happening to me? Why is this happening to me? Instead of thinking, oh my God, I'm so grateful because I have a roof over my head. Right now, unfortunately, let's think about all these people going through the hurricane. Look at all that they've lost, and living in New Mexico. There's some advantages to living in New Mexico. I think we get tornadoes here.
Like once a year, maybe
at its worst. But
thunderstorms.
You're out. When you're out there in the hurricanes, you're looking at flooding and and fire, and God only knows what else is going to come at you. And so we got to be grateful. We have a roof over our head. We have running water. People in countries don't have running water.
Yeah. Well,
we have electricity.
Yeah, we have internet. Oh, she read it. She put it out there.
My husband, my job, my upcoming trip, my age, and my lack of hurricane.
Unless it's the kind with booze in it, right?
Yeah,
no?
Right, Glenda? Hurricane is, and her friend, she says that's 6. 6 is great.
That's okay. 5 is just like, I think it's a good number because 3 isn't, I don't feel it's quite enough.
Right.
And 5 is like, it's your hand. That's why the handprint, you can always, no matter where you are.
On one hand, you can name 5 things that you are now grateful for. Today, learning to live in the now, and that's what's really important is living in the now. I don't. No, I would have to be in Louisiana to get a good hurricane drink. Oh, Glenda, you're so funny. I love you.
Yeah,
but definitely. I mean, I'm just. When I had a job and I won. You were there. I passed out cards every morning because I think it's one thing that you have to ask. What is it that I need to learn today?
Mm-hmm.
So today, if I learn, if one thing is if I learn that this is what's going on in my life and I need to focus on it more. Then I just have to figure out one thing to fix about it. Because there's only one thing that you can fix about it. You're already ahead of the game.
Or even just acknowledging that there's a thing to be fixed.
Well,
sometimes.
Like for example, okay, I know I need to clean my house and clean my yard. I'd feel better about going in my backyard if my yard was clean. So, how do I fix that? Well, I don't have the money to pay somebody to come fix it for me because I don't really want to do it. So, my method of fixing it is every Sunday or Monday evening, I go out there and I bag up 2 things of trash back there because it's been trashed for so long. And slowly,
it's gotten clear.
I'm going to clear because like right behind the bathrooms and Amber's room, that area is now clear. So now I'm just moving that way and then I'll move.
Yeah. No, it's like that. It's what you can do. We talk about the power of I can and the power of I am.
Right.
Those are 2 things I will possibly write about in the future, maybe too. But the power of I can't, instead of saying I can't,
right,
which is I can't, I'm overwhelmed. I can't because I'm sad. I can't because I don't have somebody here to help me, or whatever those reasons are for not doing something. Like rather than saying I can't, it's like, well, okay, then what can I do?
Well, sometimes it's about rewording it. I mean, where was it that I was reading something about?
It's a mind shift.
Instead of saying, okay, for example, a lot of us tend to say, I am broke. I can't do that today, I'm broke.
Yeah.
Well, we will always be broke as long as we keep saying it. Now, or I can't afford it. So now you need to reword that of, I choose not to afford it this time. Or I choose not to do that at this time.
Yeah.
Because, a lot of the time, and so like, for me, it's like my rewording my rewording of it is basically, oh my God, I just had a blonde moment. I can't, it's not in my budget at this time.
Yeah, that's my favorite one.
Yeah.
It's just not in the budget. Like,
right.
We have money flow at this point, but there are other things that take precedent.
So let's talk about in your 5, about how a little bit is, what are words that you would not want to use when you're expressing gratitude? Like, for an example is like when we do, say, affirmations. I am now debt free. That is not a positive affirmation because you use the word debt.
Because that's a negative word.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I tend to not get so hung up on the wording and the semantics of it, because if you're doing what's your 5 really technically should be a list. It shouldn't be, or at least the way I do it, the way I've been teaching it, and it's a list of things. It's stuff. It's things. Like on my list, it'll say, like I write if you go into the group, you'll see it. I do mine as like a bulleted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 list. I don't say I am supremely grateful that I have this, and I don't say, my life is, I'm thankful for this. I don't use that word terminology. But other people choose to do it because it makes them feel good. Like, to me, I'm not so hung up on the semantics of it. Like when you're doing affirmations, there is definitely a right way to do affirmations.
Right.
But your 5 is not affirmations. It's not saying I am blank. I am blank.
Right.
Okay, so when you're writing affirmations, there definitely is a right way and a wrong way to do affirmations. Certain words that you use, even when you're doing like an I am list. I'm taking this course right now with Tori Patillo, and she had us do in one of the courses our I am. And, you write out all the things you are. Like, I am a movement creator, I am a leader, I am a blank. And they're all positive words. And so people in the group were asking, how do you know that your I ams are negative or positive? And it's like, well, if you look at them, do they make you feel good when you say them? Because if you say, I'm a mother, or I'm a teacher, from Tori's teaching, it's a matter of more the spiritual side of things, not so much your titles. Like, I could say I'm a microbiologist, a former microbiologist. That's a title that I used to carry. Mm-hmm. Instead of saying I'm a kick-ass scientist. Guess which one makes me feel better?
Yeah.
The title or kick-ass scientist? Because I'm actually a scientist in everything that I do.
Right.
I'm always trying new shit. This was an experiment.
This
makes me feel so good that we just were like, okay, let's like put it over there. We were talking about the mount. Like, let's do an experiment and see if it works. It's working beautifully. So,
and it's what I had bought for my car.
When you're writing affirmations, who is it that is like the affirmations? Louise Hay. She just recently died.
Did she die?
Yeah, she died like the same day as Wayne Dyer, 2 years later.
Oh, I didn't know that.
You didn't know that? Yeah. But when you're writing,
and then Dyer died.
Yeah, 2 years ago, and she died on the exact same day. So, it's definitely, But when it comes to 5, at this point, I'm not so concentrated or worried about the wording that people use, because if they are doing it correctly, they're looking around their life and they're finding 5 good things. 5 good things that make them happy, that they're thankful for, that they're grateful for, that they are, that made them laugh or smile or feel good. The whole point of what your 5 is, it comes from you. Like, your 5 comes from you. My 5 comes from me. Mm-hmm. Stephen HaHa.
Yeah.
We love him. He's another comedian. He loves to put pooping on his 5 every day. I know. Like, for you cringe, right?
I cringe.
But for him, it makes him feel good. He puts it on his 5. We can't judge him for that, There's no judgment with the 5. That's why the group is a sacred space for people to share their
It's not it's not judgment. I mean, and I think that I'm in a lot of groups, and and then all of a sudden you get to this point of where it's overly dramatic and everybody's bitching about something, and it's like, oh my God, it definitely makes you want to not be part of that group.
Yeah, I've been in groups. Have you been in the manifesting groups that everybody's asking for prayers and love and light for blank. I'm trying to manifest my dream job. Everybody send me love and light. Have you seen those posts?
I've seen those.
And I don't know, it just makes me wonder, like...
Your eye was twitching there. Your eye was twitching there.
Is it twitching?
Yeah. Your eye was twitching when you said, it makes me... and I agree. I mean, it's just kind of like, there is only so much that you can take of dealing with some things, okay? And, again, you don't have to read everything that's posted.
No, you don't.
Sometimes it's a matter of taking a step back. Go away for a couple of days. Come back. Take a break.
Yeah.
Breaks are important in our lives. They are for everything.
Well, it's if you want to avoid any kind of burnout, spiritual burnout, working burnout, writing burnout. One thing that I've learned this year is that sometimes that time away is exactly what I needed in order to feel recharged and in order to feel or to get back to that place of motivation. I spent a whole month on the road, the month of July, in a semi-truck driving around. And there wasn't a lot of computer, internet. I mean, I pretty much had this was my connection to the world.
Right.
And I was taking photos. I decided to be in the now. It forced me to be in the now. Not in my computer, not in my happy little zone at home, at my computer with my internet, my TV, and, my cats. Here I was, driving around in this truck with this as my connection to everybody. Right?
Yeah.
And I found that if I was on this, I would have missed the saguaro cactus, the Joshua trees.
We miss our lives.
I would have missed everything. It gave me such a perspective that, I was taking photos, which was actively documenting this. Because I'm not getting in the truck. I can't get in the truck now for 6 months. And even if I could, I probably wouldn't.
Yeah.
Because as much as the time away was good, it was not, it wasn't getting me closer to, I wasn't getting my true work done. But coming home back to it and everything, it really taught me that now, especially I know to use the semi-truck as, a kind of a, I had my spiritual awakening in a semi-truck, but in some ways I kind of did.
Hey, some people have a spiritual awakening inside the bathtub.
Well, this is true. But it just, the travel, the constant movement, the constant action. But it was, and then the scenery changed every single, we'd wake up in New Mexico, 2 days later be in Los Angeles, 2 days later be in Idaho and it'd be snowing, 2 days later we're back home, 2 days later we're in Texas,
right?
2 days later we're in Chicago, or we're in the cornfields of Iowa. I mean, it was like a motion picture life, and, I kind of wished that I had gotten to put cameras in the truck and videotape us talking and singing and all the goofy shit that we do. Because I start to lose, I being trapped in that space, I start making up songs and poems and all kinds of goofy stuff. And Russ is, Renee is driving, and he's...
Hi, Don Ivy.
Don Ivy?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's going, what is bringing on this song? I'm like, because we've been in the truck for 7 hours, and I need to take a piss. And I don't want to use I have to tell you about my experience with pee funnels. They work. We call it my pocket penis.
That's just such a, that's kind of like one of those, the 5 about...
toilets.
Toilets
are wonderful. But I've got to tell you, man, if you are in the woods or you're somewhere where you don't want to squat, the funnels worked. That was mad scientist. I buy these funny funnels because I'm so terrified that we're not going to be able to pull over and I'm going to be able to pee. So I take these funnels with me, and on the first trip I actually got to use them. And I got really good at using them. Yes, I can use a funnel to go to the bathroom. and a bottle tube. I am talented.
That's not something I really want to find out or watch.
I'm not gonna.
Don't need her to share that other than the story that she.
I'll share the story. I'm not doing no like how-to videos.
Are you sure you don't want to do a how-to video?
I might. Well, unless you want to make me like a fake mannequin, and then we can show you how to do it. But it wouldn't be the same because you have to. There's anatomy. You got to be considerate.
So Dawn, we are talking about what is your five things that you are grateful for today and now. So, do you have 5 things that you're grateful for? Hi, Scotty. Scotty Goff joined us.
Who did? Scotty Goff?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Cool.
So, but 5 things that you're grateful for. I think that's awesome. Especially to learn. It's a simple process. 5 things that you're grateful for right now. I watch you. I've seen everybody on Facebook, and I watch them, and I see the things that that's good in your life. What's good? Dawn's grateful for the zoo today.
Ooh,
say hello to my family, the big lion, or the monkeys. I don't know. I'm sure we're closely related either way.
Which zoo was it? The Albuquerque Zoo, or
yeah, you're at the Albuquerque Zoo, right, Dawn?
Gardens.
So
we are killing this bottle of wine.
It's okay.
That's what it's there for.
Cut it out. So again, so when if you're having a bad day, don't be surprised if I add you to a group called What's Your Five.
And it's my group, and you're all welcome.
Tobi's group, and I think it's an amazing group, and
we have very few rules, which is. It's just be nice and do
just
fine.
Be nice, and don't. We don't have to criticize others what they're grateful for. It's like
nobody does.
I wouldn't be grateful for that. Really, it's kind of like, wow, that's awesome. That's awesome that you're grateful for that.
And not only that, but you don't even have to post. You can join and be a lurker. I'm totally cool with lurkers. I lurk in probably too many groups. I am guilty of that.
Yeah,
guilty of lurking. So you're all welcome to join us.
Yeah, definitely. Join it.
Eventually there is a book coming out.
Yes, a book will be coming out.
When
we'll be promoting it when it comes out.
When I decided to... I have a thing about dates. Does this happen to you? You set a date for something, and then it's all cool when it's a month away, but then as it gets closer, do you start panicking?
I am the queen of procrastination.
I start panicking, even though I get everything done that I need to get done for it, but I panic. I go into panic mode. Oh my god, do I have this set up? Did I set up the KDP right? Did I set up this right? Did I edit it? I go back in and I'm panic edit. Panic edit is not, no. I do my best editing when I'm first fresh in the morning.
Mine is panic. I got to get my time in. Panic. I got to get my time in to make some money.
Oh yeah.
It's I have so much fun things to do during the week, and oh my god, it's Friday. I need to get my time in.
You should flip it, and then you should try to see how quickly you can get your time in. So then you can take the rest of the week off.
I think I should give that a try.
Do you know what I mean? Okay, so you'd be I have 3 days to get these 40 calls or whatever.
50 minutes in.
50 minutes in. I have 3 days.
Actually, it's 750 minutes that I would need.
Do you know what I'm saying?
No, I know what you're saying.
Just flip it around instead of waiting till the last minute. That way, you know what happens? You get it done early. You can fuck off the rest of the week.
That is very true. I think I might have to do that.
You could be okay, if I get all this work done by Thursday, I get 3-day weekend. You know what I mean?
She makes it sound so damn easy.
It's a matter of just
I know, and I do know that. I really need to.
Because you know what I used to do when I first started?
I'm one of these people, I buy all these calendars, and I work on them, and I'm very diligent for the first 10 days, and then I'm done.
Well, that's why you have to set up your space, your workspace. And right now,
this is my workspace.
This is your workspace.
This is my office. This is my studio.
So, tonight, set the goal of having all of those calls or whatever done by Wednesday night. It doesn't matter, and it doesn't matter. Don't put yourself on the, like, I must have them done between 8 a.m. and 10 p.m. or 8 a.m. and 10 a.m.
But if I get them done in the morning, then I have the rest of the day, and I don't have to worry about doing it.
Yeah.
When I'm too tired or exhausted. Yeah. Like last night, I was. When I got off the phone with you, I'm like, oh, my neck really hurts. So I took a muscle relaxer. And I was gone. I was dead to the world. I was out.
Yeah.
And
Denise came on. Who's Denise?
Hi, Andrew. I miss you.
Hi, everyone that just joined us.
Yeah. This was awesome.
Oh,
I stopped talking because I was typing. I can't multitask. I admit this. I cannot multitask. It's been proven in science that you cannot multitask without screwing something up. With the procrastination is its worst. And, and even like doing this 5, it reminds me of stuff of what I should be doing. What I could be doing, little reminders of like, oh yeah, I forgot that I need to take care of that, and then I'll go take care of it. Yeah. I like that, and I'm working on the procrastination at its best, being grateful for what I have.
Well, just embrace it and know this: procrastination is. Sometimes it's out of fear that we don't do stuff. It
really is out of fear. We gotta,
because I've been procrastinating my book. I was using other people as an excuse, myself included.
Mm-hmm.
Tobi, it's your fault. Your book's not done. Tobi, I used the truck. I used the situation that I was in, and now, I probably could have had it dropped this month.
Okay, here's the thing. John Lennon's quote is, life gets in the way, right?
Yeah.
But the reality of it is that we have to control life and not let life control us.
Well, we also have to choose, it's choose our focus.
It's choose our focus and because we do. We start, okay, one of the things is let's just like my ex-husband when we were doing the seminary and stuff like that. One of the things I told him is I said, I want my religion to be a part of my life, but I don't want my life to be my religion.
Mm-hmm.
And I really think that a lot of us. Hi, baby girl. I love you. Hi, Marie. But I don't want my life to be all about this. This is not all I'm at. This is not who I am. I do not want, for example, my religion to be to identify
the
me.
Only thing that's
because I'm so versed and well-rounded and
you don't want to be niched. You're niched. But not niche.
I'm a niche, but I don't want to be stuck in a niche. Don't put baby in the corner. I don't want to be in the corner.
Well, me either. Well, I can remember having a conversation with somebody recently who said, well, what's your brand? And I said, well, I think my brand is me. But I don't really have a brand. I'm not like the money girl. I'm not the side. I mean, I'm a lot of these other things. I'm a former microbiologist, salesperson, creative writer, film producer, freaking podcast producer. There's just so much. And
it's Tobi was my producer.
Well, I'm still
I said she was my producer. I didn't say she's still a part of it and still awesome.
I still help when I can. I kind of disappeared for a few months. But not really disappeared.
It's okay. Everybody needs some regrouping time.
But you know what I mean? Like, my brand, like, you look at some of these people that have these businesses and they're known as the hippie business owner or the barefoot executive, or they have this, like, executive brand, and it's almost like the only thing, and no offense to those people, that was you, it was just coming off my brain, that it's almost like that's their only thing that they do. And being branded like that, I don't know, it feels, I guess my brand is me.
Well, it's like a catchphrase. You don't want to be stuck with a catchphrase, because then that catchphrase identifies you for the rest of your life. With my stand-up comedy, it's very funny, because when I think about that, when I was kind of thinking about, and because I'm one of these people, I do research before I do something, and one of the things is you don't want to end up giving yourself a nickname.
Like Pitchfork?
Like Pitchfork. But no, you don't want to end up giving yourself a nickname, because then you're stuck with that nickname. It's okay. So it's kind of like Star Trek. And you come out,
the Final Frontier,
and you're William Shatner. Everybody identifies him as
Kirk.
Captain Kirk. And I think that's great, but still, we don't really sometimes we don't think past that.
Well, didn't he do Priceline for a while?
He did Priceline, but he was also Denny Crane on Boston Legal. If you've never seen Boston Legal, you got to see. I love him. I loved him on Boston Legal.
What did he do on Boston Legal?
He was an attorney. He was Denny Crane.
Okay, now I'm going to help you watch.
And James Spader was Alan Shore. So
I love James Spader.
But
he was my secret crush when I was in high school. But you can't tell me.
He's really an odd.
An
odd personality. But it's okay.
He's continued to work as an actor forever. You've got to respect that.
Oh yeah.
And not only that, back in the 80s when he had some lead. He's now, God, how many hit shows has he been on? It's
a few, but he's done some bad movies too.
Everybody's allowed a shitty movie. Everybody.
But you think you get pigeonholed. Yeah. You don't want to. You
would think Stargate was a bad movie.
I love Stargate,
Me too.
But that was not a bad movie. The New Kids was not a great movie. Tough Turf was not a great movie. But we tend to pigeonhole ourselves.
Yeah.
As this, and then we can't break out of that, because people always assume that is us. Okay. So for example, let's talk about my big crush of Leonard Nimoy. He is definitely somebody that was pigeonholed into Mr. Spock. Yeah. He's always Mr. Spock. And he wrote a book called I Am Not Spock. And then people got pissed off. But then just before he died, there was another one that he wrote. And it was a great book. It was him talking about how Mr. Spock became part of him as a personality. He says, I'm having these conversations in my head of me and Mr. Spock kind of thing. And it's a great book. If you get a chance to listen to it, it's like, he says, because, that's not logical. What do you mean we were going to do that? So he's having these conversations in his head with his character that he became. And so he will always be Mr. Spock to people, even though he was a very talented, well-rounded actor. Mm-hmm. The things that you don't know that he filmed. 3 Men and a Baby. Did you know he was a director of that? Remember 3 Men and a Baby with Ted Danson?
Yeah. He directed it?
Yeah, he was the director of it.
He directed it?
He directed it, yes. 3 Men and a Baby.
No kidding.
You'd never know. There's so much out there that he's done. And so we have to not just... Life is not about one thing about us and one thing about what's wrong.
Well, we're multifaceted.
We are so multifaceted that when we're going through life, we take it for granted. So now's the time to sit down and write your 5 every day. If you can do it every day, great. If you don't do it every day, but when you're having a hard day, that's the time to write your 5.
I think so. Yeah, I think it's if you get into the practice of doing it every day. When you do have a bad day, it will be easier to do it on a bad day. But because it's such a powerful thing.
But it can turn your day around of thinking about, oh my God, I lost my job. Okay? But what are 5 things that you're grateful for? I still have a roof over my head.
I get to report to my last paycheck, which might be on my PTO.
I get a last paycheck. I get unemployment. Now I can. Although it doesn't meet all my bills, it'll give me a little bit of a break and to regroup and start over again.
And possibly explore other options. I can tell you that I've lost jobs before, and it was after every single job that I either quit or I was fired from. But that's when I had my big breakthroughs. because it was like being in a free fall. Where do I turn? What do I grab? What do I choose to focus on? What do I choose to do? Do I sit here and feel sorry for myself? Woe is me, I was fired, or woe is me, I lost my job, blah, 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 blah. Or do I study all the things I wanted to study? Do I read all the books that I wanted to read? Do I spend some time kind of embracing it? You know, like you said, the unemployment. When I lost one of my job, my last lab job, I had a pretty big salary, and so my unemployment was high enough to pay all my bills.
Yeah.
So, and this was in Boston.
New Mexico, it's not.
This was in Boston, and that winter, I just embraced the hell out of it. That's when I discovered the secret.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I started this process of, well, okay, so what are the possibilities?
Right.
Do I find a new job? Or do I try to build a business?
Mm-hmm.
Do I want to do network marketing again? Do I want to do something else? And through that whole time, I was reading book after book after book. Journaling, letter writing. I did my vision boards. We'll have to have another talk about vision boards. But I did them. I did all these things. And looking back on it now, I think it was, instead of sitting there and being angry and pissed off that I lost my job, I decided to take advantage of the time and really dive into doing something different and possibly becoming the person that was always here, but now was going to express it on the outside.
Right.
You know, because I used to feel very, very marginalized at my work, and that I wasn't appreciated and all this stuff. And, you know, I probably could have been more grateful for my job, but truthfully, I didn't really like working in the laboratory.
Well, you know, for me, it's hard for me because I don't fit in this traditional box.
Most people don't.
I'm eclectic, eccentric, unusual, rare. I don't fit this mold of a cookie cutter mold of that I can go to a 9-to-5 job. It's hard for me. I mean, and it's not hard for me to go to the 9-to-5 job because I do it. I know to do it. There's a time and a place.
Yeah.
However, my personality is as such that I know eventually, because again,
you're going to get bored.
I told you about taking that test, and the guy said that you are you all the way.
Yeah.
In a personal level and a professional level. Nothing changes. You are consistent in your personality.
Yeah.
And so that makes me think, can I really work a regular job? No, which is kind of why I'm trying to refocus. I'm still looking for a regular job. Absolutely.
But you're also, like, you're not just looking for a regular job in blank. You're also looking at all of the possibilities. We were just talking today. You know, I just got a new job. Part-time job.
Congratulations. I'm jealous.
Please. You really... She's not.
I'm really not.
Don't believe her. She's not.
Because she has to talk to people and I don't.
I know. I'm going to have to... The total introvert here is going to have to... But you know what? Honestly, I like retail. It's easy. It's fun.
Yeah.
But, okay, but right now, like with your situation, you're looking at all of these possibilities. You're entertaining all of these different ways to have a stream of income.
Right.
You're not saying, oh, no, I can't. Or you're actually doing it. And by doing that, you're telling the universe you're ready to work. And, you know, and who knows? One of these might be the thing that you really love doing.
Right. I might find the one thing that completes me. Besides this glass of wine.
But
So.
No, but the thing... but, you know, we were talking about, you know, my biggest issue with traditional jobs is being on somebody else's schedule. Because...
Right.
That's my biggest...
I kind of like getting up out of bed and not feeling like I have to put my clothes on, comb my hair, and brush my teeth.
Well, like mine...
Even though I do.
Most people that are close to me know that I'm usually up between 4 and 6 in the morning, every morning, working.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, that's the best time for me to work. I'm legit done with my work at like 10 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Like, done. Like, and then I cook my lunch, and I go take a nap at 2:00.
I don't nap.
Okay, she doesn't nap, but
I'll sleep when I'm dead.
I like to take my naps in the afternoon, and then I sometimes sit down and I'll, I have my afternoon schedule. With Renee being gone so much, I spend a lot of time talking to him, and I like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I can get my work done in spurts. It's not like one of my biggest complaints about regular job. It was almost like you have to spend 8 hours focusing on one task.
Yeah.
Like in the 7th level of hell.
Yeah.
It was making phone calls. So many an hour. That's all we did all day.
I know.
Okay, no. It was like, I'd like to do something. I don't know how you would feel about it, but I at the end of my 2nd week, I was starting to just be like, I felt like a zombie.
Right. Because you're pretty much calling and saying the same thing over and over and over and over.
Yeah.
And there's no versatility in it, because it was like basically, okay, you can do this from this time to this time, but then from the next 6 hours, it's all calls.
Well, I would get my calls done, but then, I would go and I was searching, and then...
And the problem is that you can only do so much, because after a while you're coming up with the same people all the time.
Same people, and
you end up with duplicate people in the database. In a database, because and then it's old information, it's incomplete information, but so.
But do you know what I'm saying? It's like there's no break from that. Like my workflow at home is I get up, I do my 5 work, my law of attraction, my other mindset work.
Right.
And then I sit down and I look at the tasks of things that I need to get done that week. Like this past week, it was updating my website. I do have a blog, and updating that to kind of reflect the changes that have occurred in the 2 years since I started it. So I work on that for a little bit. Maybe I get up and I have my coffee and I, maybe go and start laundry, put the laundry in the dryer. Then I go back and I work for another 30 to 40 minutes. When I'm in writing mode, it depends. It depends on the day. Like when I'm really focused on writing, I sit down and I do it for 3 hours at a chop. Just 3 hours.
So the one takeaway before we wrap,
we're
ending this. We're actually a little over, but the one takeaway.
Not sorry.
The one takeaway from this really is about if you can get up and do it every morning, that's fine. But again, in those moments of stressful times, list the 5 things. On one hand, only one hand, 5 fingers, 5 things that are right and good in your life. 5 things you're thankful for, 5 things you're grateful for, right now. Now. Can't stress it enough. And you want some support with this, with creating this practice in your life. There is the group. It's free. I ain't selling anything to anybody. It's a group. It's a safe place for you to post or not post. Yeah. Maybe I'm hoping that read other people's posts. You'll realize you have so much on it. Yeah, and not only that, but you're not alone in it, and you just definitely you feel like joining us. What's your 5? Look for me, Tobi Camili, and what's your 5 on Facebook. If not, I'll add you. If not, Nicolina will add you. She's not a chicken like me. I am not a chicken. I don't like adding people because I don't want to. Because I'm a chicken. It's a chicken shit. Is he my girl? I'm like, I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. So this is Nicolina Nix. We're going to sign off from Women, Wit, and Wine. We have some great shows coming up. Be sure to watch out for them. Next week is we have Sarah Miles from PEP. She's an advocate. It's going to be a great show. And then the week after that, we're going to be doing a Saturday show at the Press Club with comedian Caitlin Minton. And we're going to go from there. So we'll see you next time on Women, Wit, and Wine. Thanks, and thanks for listening, and thanks for joining us on film. Bye. Bye. Ooh, my face was all big.